Hi guys, it's Colette and I'm back with the weekly tarot card for the week commencing the 8th of July 2019. And yes, I've got the back of the card to the camera because I've noticed that people tune in and keep watching the good cards, but when a negative card shows up, I would say about 20% of you go, that's not what this is meant for. We take the good and the bad, and it's up to you. I don't mean that, but sometimes the bad cards can be, or the cards that look worrisome could be a really good message for you, or it could be a warning of how to approach the week ahead. But I have noticed it's quite funny that my happy visual cards get far higher kind of views than the ones that look difficult. So we'll see if a few of you hang on, because I'm starting it with the back this time. So anyway, for the week ahead we have the Nine of Swords. There we go. Big eye, scarring, blood, sadness, tears, cruelty. Yeah, as you can see, not the best card for the week ahead. However, again, I tend to like to know when a Nine of Swords is coming. Now, in the last 3 weeks, this means that we've had a Ten of Swords and a Nine of Swords, and that's not good, because over the course of 4 or 5 weeks that energy can bring everybody so far down because it's simply not balanced. You know, it's like the good cards that we dealt were okay and they were nice, but they weren't brilliant. But here we have it held down by 2 negative cards. But what can I say? The mood associated with this card for the world, and I hope you're looking at the monthly tarot card for July as well. I don't know if people have noticed that up yet. It's not a weekly, it's a monthly overview for the world. And there's a bit of this energy in there too. So the energy in the world will be tense, anxious, fearful, and all round needing a lot of hugs, cuddles, and friendship to overcome it. It is a card that can bring out a collective anxiety, and with that I mean, you know, we see this happening in this country, this happening in the other, all sorts of things. And because there's so many things, even countries that aren't necessarily affected directly by it can start to feel as though the energy of what's next can build up. And that's the problem with this card, because it is a fear and it's an anxiety card, but it actually doesn't predict the big negative things that will always happen. That's more a Ten of Swords or a Tower or a Three of Swords. But the Nine of Swords itself isn't necessarily the worst card in the deck, but where it can become problematic is if we think of it as maybe a petri dish with something, not a nice bug or bacteria in it. And this card tends to then put that petri dish in the heat, and the bacteria goes, and before you know it, the bacteria are everywhere, because there was a sort of catalyst. The energy was there, but there was a catalyst. Now that catalyst this week could be a person, it could be the media, it could be an earth event. But whatever it is, we've got a sort of burden of anxiety there at the moment anyway, and that's not particularly good. But then when you add a catalyst, which this card can be, that catalyst that sends the anxiety up, then this card can have an overall effect on the world of quite negativity and low vibration energies. So what do we do about that? Well, I'll tell you about it in individual things like career or whatever in a minute, but whenever a Nine of Swords comes out for me, because we want to contain it a little, we want to contain its energies, I would always do more protection ritual around myself and family. I would do more prayers for the world. And if anything does come about from this card, I'm going to go online and get you all into a healing circle. Excuse me. And as I say, I'm not saying it will, but if there's anything big, I'm just going to come on and say, right, let's do healing and we'll see what we can do with that. So in general, you need to do your healing, do your protection, and give an awful lot of love. And even one of the best ways around this card, or to dampen it a bit, I always find, is laughter. And even if that's dark humour or gallows humour, you know, I very much have that sense of humour whenever this card's out. And some people don't get it and they're a bit like, whoa. And other people just like get it right away. And no, I'm not being offensive in any way. I'm just making a joke that can lighten the situation a wee bit. So in general, a kind of background anxiety. It can also bring a lack of confidence in, that we don't feel that we have the confidence to stand up or to say what we need to say. It can also be that there's attacks, that there's a sense of feeling that you're not attacks themselves, but maybe you're under attack, and that because it's swords is about intellect as well, and it's about communication. So I think we all maybe need to rein it in on Twitter in the week ahead. If you're on Twitter, it's getting vile. It's absolutely getting vile. I'm not kidding. The stuff I've seen and the good stuff that's been put up, and then the vile replies to it, have made me want to just come off it. But to be honest, it's where I get most of my news, so quickly. So, but maybe we all need to rein it back a wee bit. We can have a dark humour, and we can have a sense of trying to keep things up and kind of buoyant, but we don't need to be nasty. We don't need to use our tongue as a weapon. Let's just calm it a wee bit in the view of the Nine of Swords. Otherwise, there's going to be blood and there's going to be tears, and we don't need that. We really don't need it. That was the hysteria coming through in the voice there. You know from some of my other videos that I work with world aspects and looking at certain things, and a lot of world healing. I've always done it, and it's just almost like I focus on one thing to send healing to, and then I realise there's something just as important that needs sent, and something just as important, and whatever. And just the last couple of days I've been very, very tired and haven't been able to really send healing much at all. So I think I'll need, if there is anything next week, I'll have to rely on you all coming on and putting your energy together, because I don't know how much I've got left, to be honest, although I can still give hugs, even virtual hugs. Anyway, I'm going on and on, but it is a negative card. You need to know about it. What does it mean in career? In career, lack of confidence, a feeling of not being worthy, a background anxiety that you might do something wrong, and because of that you just might do something wrong, and a feeling of just nippiness all round, people at one another's throats. So can you have a holiday next week from work? If you can, cocoon yourself, get your protection up, go in, do your work, come home. Don't get involved in the office politics or the tussles. Just as it's not a week for saying, I'm going to go forth and I'm going to make my dreams come true or whatever. It's a week of dodging bullets in some ways. So just please go into your cocoon, do your job, do it to the best of your ability, and don't get worried, because the worry can lead to anxiety of making mistakes, and then you can make mistakes. What about health? General health, it leads to anybody with mental health issues or illnesses having more catalysts and more pressure put on them. because of even the cuts in this card, I warn people that know of relatives or even themselves that self-harm, because self-harm can come out in this card. Body image problems, anorexia, binging, all these things can be associated with the way of sort of quenching the negativity and the anxiety of this card. It's not just that it's there, but with health, it's a reaction to it. It's like obsessive compulsion. So mental health aspects will be under a lot of pressure this week. That again will put a lot of pressure on those type of services. So please look out for your own family and friends and see what you can do with them. Excuse me. Relationships. If you're in a long-term relationship, there could be an anxiety around about family, and as a couple, the best way to defeat this card or overcome it is to really hang together and not let an upset or a worry have yous arguing. When this card comes out and it's about a couple, I have to say, you know, stick together. Don't let outside influences or outside aggro harm your relationship. And there's a lot of people who know what that's about in the week ahead. If you're looking for a partner, again, I'll be honest with you, there's some weeks where the cards are saying go out, enjoy, be that person that brings that person towards you. But with energies like this, you're going to find that maybe there'll be a catalyst or disappointment that leads you to be down on yourself, to not like yourself and whatever. So this is a week for Netflix and ice cream. So just get on with it. You'll be fine. There might be a better card next week. And if you do meet someone this week, just a wee bit look deeper to see, you know, if they have any aspects that you should look out for, you know, because a lot of people on this channel are empaths. And a lot of empaths attract narcissists or even psychopaths. And with this card out, that percentage is a bit higher than normal. So please maybe just fall in love with yourself in the week ahead if you've not got a partner, okay? Money. No, not great. Think of what anxiety does to us. It makes us want to relieve the anxiety, and with health issues that can be doing things that are negative towards mental health. But with money, it becomes a sense of ignoring your finances and almost self-medicating with potentially eBay or, you know, whatever. So what I'm going to say with money, it's not a card that defines that there's going to be bad things happening with money. It defines that you need to watch what you do with your money. It also can mean that if there's other things going on in the world financially, that markets can be scared. Now, I don't know that much about markets or whatever, but I think when markets get a fear of something happening, that things can go down, and it can look really, really bad for economies. So keep your own money to yourself this week and don't allow negativity, anxiousness, or a sense of self-medication with a sauce being your answer, okay? Spiritually, what can I say? It can be not a bad one because you're forced to face up to your fears. And unless you have control of your fears, you'll not get to the level spiritually that you're meant to be. You know, I've watched some of the people that I regard as being very spiritual, and I've read about them or whatever, and they basically don't have much fear. They maybe don't want to, like, get hurt or whatever, but it's a case of they feel that they're equipped enough that whatever happens, they will have a way of finding their way through it. So spiritually, if you could focus on overcoming fears in the week ahead, that would be a really good one. So hopefully we'll have a better weekly tarot card for the following week, and just do your best this week, but look after yourselves, and don't hold back and telling people that you love them, or telling people that they're special to you. Don't hold back in giving a hug when someone needs it. Empathic people, should be able to sense that someone needs help and give that help without it ruining their own health or whatever. So work your way through it, and I'll see you hopefully, I will see you at the other end of it, God willing, and many blessings. I have to find this button now, but many blessings. Oh, if you like my way of reading the tarot, my book Tarot Novice to Pro is available on all Amazons and on Kindle, and my Memoirs is still doing quite well, so thanks to everybody that's been buying it, and could you leave reviews please, because they do help. Many blessings now. Bye.